Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hamilton Ford. Hey, it's a beautiful Saturday morning out there. Can you believe June's almost gone?
That is absolutely crazy.
Time flies, you're having fun. Josh, how come we got red shirts on? What's going on?
I don't know.
Only thing I can tell you, Josh, about it, I know we're probably going to catch some flack for both having red shirts on, but at least Gus isn't going to be mad at us for having black on.
Well, not us. You.
Yeah, I get that too. So, hey, anyway, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. Love to hear from you. And, Josh, I got to get the phone number up here in design,
there
isn't
you
it?
go. Yeah. No.
Captions.
There you go. Yeah, just like that.
Call in.
Got it.
There we go. Okay, go back chat line again. So, anyway, 316-462-3673. That's the number here to the front desk of the dealership. Tell the girls you want to get patched in the podcast. And again, this is the only show you get paid to call in on. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything you don't understand, anything in the automobile world you want to talk about, anything in the racing world you want to talk about, it doesn't matter. Get on the phone and you'll get a great price package about over $130. We still haven't proved that. I think that's a little low now, I think, Josh.
Yes.
But anyway. So 316-462-3673. Get the phones ringing. And as always, Josh, what's in that package that you get?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hamilton Ford. While we're completing that service, we're also going to perform a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on your vehicle, making sure that it's geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You're also going to get yourself $10 to Mel's Diner so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. A BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. So,
all right, 316-462-3673. And chat line's up and running. So if you got something you want to talk about in the chat line, but we really want to hear from you. Want to hear phone call, 316-462-3673. Anyway, a couple things. Really like the red shirts
already,
Ricky and Cal. Boy, he's funny, didn't he? Yeah. Ryan Green, good morning. Dustin Freddie, hey, thanks on the 3-peat. Yeah, we'll talk about that maybe here in a little bit or whatever, too, from that part, too. So, hey, anyway, Josh, it looks like you got something over here on the other screen.
I do.
All right, so we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. And Robert Kinney chiming in, the old redneck out here at Mel Hamilton Ford. So, Robert, I've been on his show. I guess maybe sometime we're going to have to break down and put him and Nick on our show, Josh.
You think so?
I've been on their show, so I guess maybe they're going to have to be on our show.
So?
I think Robert really is dying to be on our show. Problem is he admits it, though. He can't fix a car. He doesn't know what's going on under that hood, but boy, he could sure sell the hell out of those cars, right?
Yeah.
And, morning, Delbert. How are you, buddy? At least I hope that's your name. No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's a joke.
We don't have the names up there today.
So are you Ricky, right? You're Ricky, right?
Well, whatever. You put me in a NASCAR, I'll be whoever you want me to be.
You're just not going to win that sucker going backwards. Is what I'm going to tell you.
I probably won't win it at all, but I'll have
fun, right?
I'll have a damn good time doing it. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, okay. So Josh, what do you got over here?
So, and I'm not sure with us re-streaming this, how long we may not even get to see the whole video, but I wanted to play it and then discuss it. And I'm not even gonna pick apart the company, but just the whole. So it's a news article or a news story of basically just a quick service oil change facility. But there's a couple things in the video that I wanted to point out.
You probably want this mouse to run this, don't you?
I think the only thing you would need to do, we need to come over here and click that little toggle switch there, and then you could maybe even take us off just so it's a full screen.
I think if you do this,
no, yeah, okay, there you go. Okay, well, good deal. And then
I think if you do it up there, Josh, it's gonna mute us.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, and then just hit this play button down there. I think would get you there. Pause
Okay,
that
we can't
video.
get the
Yeah, let me see this.
take the video over, Josh. Sorry, everybody. A little
Just a
technical
second.
We don't have Gus today. That's probably part of our problem.
Think so. Yeah.
I'll give him a little bit of credit. How about that? Maybe not a lot, but I'll give him a little bit of credit for fixing that up.
If we can
so maybe we're going to have to just talk
yeah,
about
we might have to just discuss it. I was going to try one thing here real quick and just see what should be a settings button there.
I don't know what we did wrong, Josh, but something's not working. So everybody, sorry about not getting the volume back through there and everything else like that. So not sure. We need Gus. Gus, are you listening? How is it? But that's okay. Gus is off at a funeral down in Texas, so that's why we don't have Gus here this morning from that part too. Anyway, Josh, let's
we'll
pull
just,
this thing off and
and
let's talk about what happened and what. So
essentially, what the long and the short is, and I don't want to beat up this Take 5 oil company, but that's what the news report is on, in the sense that, I'm sure those are individually owned franchises, right? That there could be
there's all kinds of oil change places.
Reputable ones out there. But in this news article, a couple of different things that really captured my attention is one, was they bragged about or the convenience to the customer of them to stay in their car while they perform the service, and it was a drive-on pit, so the customer stayed in the vehicle, basically drove over this pit, and then there was a guy on the top working the underhood stuff, and then there was a guy on the bottom draining the oil. But the wheels never leave the ground. It's literally just an oil change where they're pulling your plug, changing your filter, topping off the fluid. And although probably convenient for a consumer,
very, very, very not functional for your car. Very good for your car.
Yeah, but
it's kind of like going to the doctor and he checks your blood pressure when you're going in for your physical and he rolls you out the door checking your blood pressure.
And so, what you're getting for the value is not there. I question, and I don't know because it doesn't say. Basically, there was several complaints through this Take 5 company that basically they didn't put oil back in the vehicle afterwards, and so there was multiple.
The top guy messed up.
Yeah, so there was multiple engines that had to be replaced, but then not only to that extent of that it was just a matter of, well, we had to replace the engine. I mean, there was long drug out legal battles for at the time of the report, which this I happened to stumble across this yesterday, or Gus sent this to us yesterday, was about 6 to 9 months, and they were the vehicle was still in a repair shop and no repairs were being done to it with the engine broke down. And the person just literally left the facility and was, a couple miles down the road when it happened. And I guess my point to that is what's where you're having your vehicle serviced or maintained or taken care of, what's the backside of it? What's the warranty on it? Is it reputable? Are they going to stand up to the work that they do? That's why, for us, I couldn't imagine working in a facility like that there's a corporate office somewhere, right? That, okay, well, somebody else has to make that decision that's not even in the day-to-day business, that is just looking at spreadsheets and numbers, right? And taking out the human element and human factor. But somebody here every day to make a decision on what's best and right for all parties involved. What's best and right for the customer, what's best and right for the business, what's best and right for the employees. And I just, there's so many things about a quick change facility like that and a national chain that are disturbing to me. you know.
Well, I think the other thing is we're just throwing the car in, we're draining the oil out. We're not doing a thorough inspection of the car. We're not checking the brakes. As you said, the tires didn't come off.
Mhm.
We know every oil change today, a 5,000 mile oil change, that it needs to have the tires rotated to keep your tires wearing the best way. Find out how good your brakes are doing, because I want to know if my brakes are getting thin or not getting thin. So we're not figuring that out. But then, like you said, if we make a mistake, we're here to make a decision. Because do we make mistakes? Yeah, I mean, we do. It happens. But we're going to step on it, and we're going to get it fixed as quickly as possibly can. We're not going to go through legal battles and everything else over things that for our mistakes. If they left the oil out of the car, they owe them an engine.
Yeah.
Give them an engine. Fix
Mhm.
it. So I love what you're saying there too, Josh. We're not going to. I mean, has it happened to us? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it happens to everybody. I don't care how long you
Well,
do the business, whatever you do, you're going to make a mistake.
to err is human, right?
Right.
Now, if it's a continual problem, then we got to change a process or a procedure and
Fix the
modify
process.
the business, right? But like it's, I truly believe that, you know, customer service is not the fact of not making a mistake. I mean, that's obviously the goal, is to not make a mistake, but it is, you know, it's good customer service. Some of my best customers, and I know you have the same experience, came after a mistake was made, and you get involved and you take care of it, and they become more loyal to you because of how you handled the situation during that difficult time, right?
Oh, I agree with you. I have many situations that's happened to me where people step up and take care of it and everything else too. And I've got several places that made mistakes that I didn't do in the business a long time, and they didn't take care of it, and not even halfway take care of it. Guess what? They've lost out more than they ever thought about losing on that one situation for me. So that's why I try to take them same situations here at the dealership. How would I feel if I was that customer? What would I look at, for what I just purchased or what I just did or whatever happened? And I want to take care of it. I want to make sure they have the right experience and stuff. But you are right, Josh. After we've made a mistake and we stand up and take care of it, it's good. I mean, I feel like we overcome it very quickly, as fast as we can, but we also do more problem we probably should.
There, yeah.
Because when we got egg on our face, we got to wipe the egg off our face. We got to make the customer feel better and everything else too. And you just got to step up and take care of it. But running and hiding, like you say in this article over here, that they're suing these people and they're going through legal battles. They don't have their car. They left the oil out of the car. Put a motor in the car.
On just what's right and what's wrong.
But I'm still going back to how bad just a drive over service.
Yeah,
The guy underneath, the guy on top, and what good's that doing for your car? It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. It's kind of like I got into a situation. We talked a little bit about it last week, Josh. A guy wouldn't put some Freon in his car and ended up costing him 10 grand to fix it because he put the wrong stuff in it.
oh no,
Yeah. We had it down to Quick Lane, and it happened to be an Expedition. It had a front and rear air. And so I looked at that situation. I had another deal this week where a guy was trying to fix an AC system and just put the can on there. But again, what he didn't even put enough in it to get it back up to speed where it needed to be. And it's just today's shade tree mechanic is gone from how it used to be. And I'm not trying to be negative on anybody that wants to work on their own car. It's just, if you don't have the tools, the training, the proper information how to fix these cars today, and Google's not going to fix your car for you. Okay. You can Google all you want and everything else too. Google's not going to fix your car.
So that was one of the things that they actually did talk about in this news article, is just the level of complexity of the vehicles, and even just a basic service, and how much more complex that is. They talked about, tools and equipment and undershields and, locations of components and things like that. But I mean, the level of complexity for sure has got it. It's so much more advanced than what somebody can do in their garage.
It is. It is. About every service is getting that way today. That's why you got to find yourself a reputable shop. Someone's going to know what they're doing, train their technicians, keep them up to date, give them the proper information. And I say information, shop manuals. My day was a shop manual. I mean, remember we had rooms of shop manuals.
Yeah.
Don't have that anymore. These technicians carry a laptop with them wherever they go, so they have their information at their fingertips to be able to diagnose the cars. And I've said this on many shows. Back in my day, Wrench, when I first started, if you pulled out a shop manual back in my day, you haven't a clue what you're doing. Today, if you don't have a laptop out, you don't have a clue what you're doing from that part either, from doing that either. So anyway, hey, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything at all in the automobile world, racing world, anything. Get a brake price package about over $130. And it's a quality oil change with quality products and everything else too from that part. So
Speaking of racing,
yeah,
fill me in.
I'll fill you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had kind of a fun night last night, Josh. We were at Salina, and of course, we're coming off a 2-race win, and we had to start dead last at Salina last night just because of
You know how you celebrate a 2-race win, right?
how's that?
Win a third one.
Yeah. So anyway, it was Jake come flying up through there by lap 3. He was running second. Him and Morrison were running pretty hard, and come around the last lap corner. There was a lap car, and Jake went high and went around him and won it on the last corner on the last lap. So pretty exciting to do a three-peat. We've never won 3 in a row.
Really?
Never have. Never run 3 in a row. So very exciting, very fun for Team 3J out there. Yeah, it was a fun night for sure.
But the crowds love that, right? When they, when it's last lap, last corner, last chance.
Yeah. Hey, Matt O'Connor, he's the announcer at 81. I mean, it's Salina Speedway. Matt, you want to call in here and talk about that race? I'd love to hear from you. I didn't get to hear it because I'm down on the infield and everything else. Like, the cars racing by. It's all I'm concentrating on is Jake. But Matt got to call the race last night. Matt, if you want to call 316-462-3673, you get the great price package, but I'd love to hear from you, your perspective of that race and what you saw. But it was a great last lap flash on the last corner, lap 20th on the coming off turn 4. And Jake went high, Morrison went low and went right around him. And of course, the lap car kind of held up Morrison a little bit.
Yeah.
And stuff too. So if Matt, if you want to call in and talk about that, I'd love to hear from you from that part too. So 316-462-3673, Matt.
It is a 20-lap race.
20-lap race at Salina. Tommy had a pretty good racetrack up there last night, and from that part, decent crowd and stuff too. So it's made the drive home a little more fun and exciting,
a little more awake, right?
So yeah. So everybody's asking what's going on with our car, and basically, these cars are so close and so competitive. It doesn't take much at all to change these cars, and I got to tell you, Buddy and Tanner came out here a couple weeks ago, and we looked the car over and found just a couple little minor things. And I'm telling you, that's all we've done. That's all we've changed, a couple little minor things on a car. And even last night, we changed a couple more things just to kind of play with a little bit and made some wrong. I'm going to say our car was not very good last night either. I wish we could have maybe not done as what we did last night for the setup, but you live and you learn.
Well, I mean, here's the other side of that, right? Like, it's a double-edged sword. You got to change something.
Mm-hmm.
But if you change something the wrong way, like you wish you didn't, and once it's done and you're in the race,
it's over.
It's over, right?
You got to live with it.
You gotta adjust to what you're doing. But then the additional step that I think you fight in that, and I would be the same thing. So I'm not knocking Jake or you or anybody
Nick,
about it, or Nick about it, but how much of that is a mental thing? Like, I think you have a preemptive notion of how whatever changes you made are going to affect you before you even know.
Well,
right?
I'm going to tell you, we wouldn't have made make the adjustments. And again, they're small adjustments. We wouldn't have made the adjustments if we didn't think it was going to work. But now we know it don't work.
Well, I think there's been times that, like, maybe there's within the team, not necessarily a disagreement, but just hey, I think we ought to do this.
Oh, we do have some disagreements on that.
And then I think we ought to do this.
We do have some disagreements on where we're going to do and what we're going to do to the race car.
So if everybody's head's not on the same.
Yeah. And I mean, but the thing is, between the three of us, we have some pretty good discussions on what happens there too. Okay.
Yeah.
We really do. And communicate very well. And then at the last minute, we'll decide, go. Sometimes we don't even tell Jake what we're doing.
That's my other thing too, is, because I do believe when you get behind that wheel, if you have a notion or a doubt,
you're not confident.
You're not confident. So anyways, hey, let's go to the phones.
Matt, hey, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yes.
It was an exciting night last night for Team 3J, that's for sure. I saw you made the comment about I knew you were up there in the announcers booth. I wish I could hear you better down there, but I get it. It's loud and everything else too from that part, but it was sure fun for us. I don't know what you saw up there in the tower or whatever either, buddy.
Oh yeah, it was exciting, to see Jake get up there, run second, and he'd catch Danny Morrison. Then he'd the bit of him. Then me and the flagman were talking last night. That we can't drive the car for him.
Yep.
Danny chose to go on the low line, out traffic, and Jake, being the smart driver he was, he saw those two were on the bottom, bottled up, and he took it around the high. And let me, there was not one person sitting in that grandstand last night. It was just the most exciting pass, flying around the top. Almost thought it was a sprint car instead of a modified, the way he drove that thing, and it was exciting. And I told the fans, I said, watch out, because when he comes out at 4 this next time, it'll be donuts. And sure enough, there they were.
Yeah, he I tell you, I seen him coming down that back straightaway for that last lap. He took that white flag and come around there, and I will tell you, Matt, I said earlier, if you listened earlier, we made a couple adjustments to the car that I wish we hadn't done. We should have just left the old car alone for as good as it's been the last couple of weeks. But again, we're still trying just to look for more speed, more stuff, more everything about it. But we went backwards, so I wish we could have had the other setup in the car to see what that would have done. And I do wish, for Danny Morrison's sake, I wish that lap car wasn't there and let them two race it off without that lap car there. But because I knew Jake, when that white flag come around, I knew he was going to go high. So he had to go for the win. If he's just going to follow Danny, that's not racing, in my opinion. So when he went high, I thought, oh no, is he going to be too fast, too hard, come and slide it around or whatever? But boy, he timed it just right and came through there. So I feel sorry for Danny and his crew leading most of that race and stuff too. But hey, it's got to finish that last lap, right?
What is it if you're not
absolutely? And with the way your guys' season started out, I'm glad to see you guys finally starting to put their 1, 2, 3, and just like that, taking off 3 wins, 3 different tracks. That's kind of unheard of nowadays, especially, when you've gone to a half mile, to Hayes, now to Salina. Yeah, every one of those tracks is different.
It is.
And that just shows what kind of a driver Jake is, and tame all 3 and still win 3 in a row the way he did. And I'm excited for next Friday night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Matt, you're very true. 3 different tracks, 3 different wins, 3 different little bit of different setups on each one of those cars and stuff too. But it's just, you got to be smart. And you're right. Our season started off, we had like 6 seconds, and we was getting so frustrated we hadn't got a win, and everything. Those second places, it's first loser coming out of there at second place. So Jake was getting pretty frustrated and stuff too with that situation. But I can tell you, he's on cloud 9 this morning. Excited for where we come, what we did, and now we know we made that adjustment. Like I said, our car really wasn't that great last night. We didn't have it wasn't dialed in like it normally was, and I wish we hadn't made those a couple of last adjustments we did. But again, now we know what it does to the car, knows what's going to happen to the car. So just some good luck on our side there on that last lap is what it amounts to. But that's what it's all about. Sometimes good luck is better than bad luck, right?
Absolutely. I'd like to give a shout out, since Chuck Fairchild's taken Salina Speedway over, that track has been smooth. So many compliments on that track. Drivers say, I've never seen Morris win a race before at all, and I've watched for years. And he was even able to pick up a win, at the $1,000 to win show. And, Tim Watts, he struggled. But, you've seen a lot of guys that have struggled. And now it's almost like anybody can win that race on that track at the moment. And I'm very competitive here in Salina. Just our count would be a little bit bigger so that we can showcase more of what Salina has to offer.
You're right. It's nice to see different winners and stuff at the racetrack instead of one person dominating and stuff too. And again, we are, of course, running Salt City Speedway again. So Jake's always going to be there too. The weeks before that, was Dodge City, and with Kyler Fetters helping us so much at Dodge City, I wanted to support Kyler and his track. Naturally, that's why we went out and ran Dodge City that time too and stuff too from that part. But it is nice to see some different, not the same winners all the time there at Salina from that part too. So.
Absolutely, and I can't wait for next. Hopefully, you guys can run on Saturday night so we can come up and enjoy a little bit more city. So I'd like to come up there and support it, but unfortunately, I got to do it on Friday. So,
yeah,
but
yeah, I get it, man.
But I do plan on trying to make the USAC show. So it's on Saturday, so I'm going to I'll have the night off, so I'm going to try to come up there and see that. That would be pretty exciting on that half mile.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. We've been talking to Tommy Estes a lot about getting prepared for the July 19th and 20th at Salt City, and that 100-lapper is going to be fun. You don't want to miss it. You want to be there to experience that. A lot of people haven't. I've never seen in person these Silver Crown cars run. And
I've never seen them either.
Yeah, basically they're a little bit longer wheelbase sprint car with no wing. 75-gallon fuel tanks. So they're going to be a pretty heavy car, flying around that
Yeah.
track. But again, a half-mile track with those things. And
Well, just think about in 100 laps and your fuel weight and how much that's going to change
gonna
throughout the race.
I was talking to Tommy Estes about that, and I said, are we going to have a pit stop or anything? He said, no pit stop, no nothing. The guys are going to have to manage their tires and all that kind of stuff through that race. And it's going to turn into to me, it's going to be a fuel and tire management crew for 100 laps. But this is going to be this. I believe Jim Petty's got it dialed in. This all the years racing and all the races there. This is only going to be the 17th time that there's been a 100-lap race on that racetrack there in Hutch. So, yeah, Matt, you don't want to miss it, buddy.
I've seen lots of, but never 100.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Matt, hey, thanks for calling in this morning. I wanted to hear your perspective of the race because, again, it was I was just concentrating on Jake there last night, and I was pretty pumped up after that one to be 3 in a row. Jake's never done 3 in a row like that either. So it's fun, excited, but I really think it's good that it's 3 in a row on 3 different tracks, not just the same track and everything else too. So anyway, thanks Matt for being the announcer there at Salina Speedway, and thanks for Chuck keeping that track alive for us, because we need to keep racing alive, and that's the same thing we're trying to do at Salt City and Hutch, is just keep another racetrack alive and not let another racetrack go away. There's a lot of racing in the communities around us, and people want to do it. We just got to fill these grandstands. What we got to do.
Absolutely, and I just wanted to let you know. You said you couldn't hear much of the announcement or whatnot. There is an app you can get on your phone. You can use an earbud on one ear, whatever, if you can. It's called Track. Get on there. You just fill out the little brief information at the beginning. It's absolutely free to download, and you can hear all the announcers' action throughout the night as well. So something to look into as well. You can hear everything we're saying as the race is going on. It's cast.
Hey, Matt,
and it starts.
Matt, you cut out
from the
there.
very beginning to the end.
Yeah, you cut out there just a little bit. What was the app again? You can download again.
It's called Track Tune.
Track Tune.
It's a little orange box with a microphone.
All right, cool. I didn't know that either. So you learn something new every day. So I'll definitely have to get that and get me an earbud in there so I can hear you while we're racing and stuff too, from that part. So again, Matt, thanks for tuning in this morning with us and giving us an update of the Salina Speedway. Of course, Mel Hamilton Ford and Mel Hamilton Ford Racing is a big supporter of 2 race classes up there, and of course our parts trailers up there and everything else like that. But again, thanking Chuck to keep that track alive and keep it open for the racing community. And you guys always have a good crowd there at Salina. So thanks to you and Chuck and all the crew there at Salina Speedway for keeping a racetrack alive and running.
I'm glad to do it.
All right, Matt, have a great day. Thanks for calling in, buddy.
All right, you too. Thank you.
You betcha. Bye. All right, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be, we'd love to hear from you. Anything in the racing world or whatever you want to talk about, and you get a great price package. And the only show I know you get paid to call in on.
There you go.
So
just like that.
So anyway, Josh, we were talking about the oil change deal, all that kind of stuff. And we have kind of a unique thing happen here at the dealership. We are on day 11 without what we call our DMS, which is our main computer operating system. It's been very hectic. We were part of, I've seen it on the news, to where 15,000 dealerships have been shut down due to an attack. And so they're just now starting to bring dealerships back up. We're not one of the lucky ones to be on the front of that list. I wished we were, but we're not. So hope everybody's bearing with us and understanding that situation. We have nothing to control that or whatever, but we can still service cars. We can still sell cars. We can still sell parts. It's a computer system, just makes it a lot easier than what it was. We're back I'm telling you, back like I was in the 80s, with handwritten tickets and handwritten car deals and all that kind of stuff too. But we've done very good of trying to
not let this affect the customer, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't as far as business goes, and maybe even a profitability standpoint, like it's certainly affected the overall quantity of business I think that we can perform in a day, right? Just because like we're only able to do so much that way. But there's a lot of other dealers that are on that, and I've probably heard this most through the wholesale channels of our wholesale providers, that other dealers or other manufacturers of dealers supply to the same wholesale accounts that we have, I mean, there's a lot of them, or many of them, that just chose to close up and not do business. And I just can't think of. I mean, think of, you have customers that you have to take care of, like the ripple effect that's going to cause long term for, the other businesses and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the whole thing, is computers makes it easier to do our jobs. I mean, that's like some of these young employees we have never dealt with this. I mean, this is how I grew up, was handwritten ROs.
Yeah.
From that part, I remember, I was in Topeka, and I got my first computer system to help me write ROs, and I think that was like 87. And I left there and went to Hutch in 93, and I went right back into 93 writing repair orders. And of course, that's one of the things I told the owners when I came there, that you got to get me a computer system. It's just so antiquated, outdated. It's not going to work if you don't give me that. Of course, they did. So I went back in the Stone Age again, as I call it back. But that's what we're doing today. We can still take care of you.
Yeah.
We can still do the situation. It just doesn't make it as easy, and then doesn't flow as fast as it can. And Josh, like you said, the amount of volume that we do
Well,
at Quicklane, it's just hard to keep that flow moving without a computer.
For our point too, or so being in this industry and doing the volume of business that we do and stuff. I mean, I talk about this all the time with the advisors about getting, calloused. In other words, like you're in the grind every day, and you're helping customers, and a lot of customers, like a heavy volume of customers. So to you, the processes, the procedures, like all that stuff is just the norm. But when a customer comes in, like, it's brand new to them. It may have been, 6, 9 months, if they're even your customer that you see on a routine basis. And so they don't, the explaining everything you're doing and why you're doing it. Hey, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection, and what the value of that multi-point inspection, and selling the value of that multi-point inspection. But for us, it's just something we do, right? But you have to communicate that with the customer. And so I think this has also brought back a little of that, in the sense of, especially making sure that the customer understands who they're even dealing with. You may have a customer that drops off, and they may never even understand or know who they're working with. Well, right now, that's more important than ever, because of just where we're at with the computer system, on the volume of business that we have, to be able to identify and get that customer back with the right advisor. We have ways of doing that, but it's not as convenient and works for us. So the advisor has to, put more emphasis on that now, which we should have been doing all along, right? It shouldn't have been, it shouldn't have been just a given that the customer knows who they're talking to.
And again, we don't need a computer to service your car.
Yep.
Yeah, we do need computers to look up information and stuff to diagnose your car, which we still have that. This is just the information that we don't have to write a repair order, generate a repair order, and keep track of the money. But the technicians still have their laptops. They still have their information to diagnose your cars, all that kind of stuff. Is it making it difficult on the techs? Yeah. I mean, the ones I think is taking the worst beating in this situation is the parts department.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to locate all these parts, what bin location at, where they're at, all that kind of stuff. And then again, is it in the warehouse? Is it a Quicklane? Is it the main store? I mean, so the parts department is the one that I feel is the worst.
Yep.
Person that's dealing with this situation. And I just hope by Monday we've got a computer back.
Yeah.
But then again, we got to go through a rebuilding process and rebuild all this stuff for 11 days, 12 days, whatever it might be, if we can go back live. But my thing is still is to kill 15,000 stores. They know it came from Russia. Our government needs to step up and do something.
Well,
This is
yeah.
not the only. I had a buddy of mine call me and tell me that at his hospital, about, like, I don't remember exactly how many, 30 hospitals, they shut them down for 30 days. That's a hospital. That's killing people.
Yeah.
We have to do something drastic about this to stop this from happening. So,
well, and then Gus was kind of explaining there are brokers out there that broker deals, ransom deals to these people. I was like, how is that even legal? You're basically supporting somebody. You're supporting a criminal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just the whole thing seems
fishy to me
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Seems extremely fishy, but
Yeah. So anyway, our computer system company, I believe they are the biggest in the country. I think that's maybe why they attacked them. I don't know.
for like a DMS system
Yeah, for
for the automotive
the
industry.
most customers,
Yeah.
most dealerships they have on.
Yeah.
Uh, and I saw a study coming from NAD that was saying that it's probably going to cost all these stores about $1 billion by the time it's over because of
Yeah.
lack of production and everything else too. And again, Josh, can we account for all the
Well, yeah, no, yeah.
there's going to be mistakes and everything else too.
Oh yeah, I mean to err is human, right? And then you're putting a lot more of the human element into it, but also I value what we're doing as less of a loss than not helping customers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think long term, if we weren't taking care of customers, the ripple effect of that would be atrocious. You know,
I mean, use a consumer to drive in here for service. Does it really matter? We got a computer system.
Yeah,
No, you just want your car serviced.
Mhm.
I get it. And that's what we got to keep doing. And that is what we're doing from that part. So anyway, everybody bear with us until we get back up live with the our new computer system. I hope it's Monday morning. We're going to get there. I talked to my actual rep yesterday afternoon on the way to Salina, and he said basically they're firing stores up. There's no rhyme or reason what order they're coming up in or whatever, but they're firing them up at night, which is I think is good.
Mhm.
And so far, the stores are firing up and bringing back up. We were worried if we'd lost data or any of that sort of stuff. And so far, the stores they're bringing up, he said, the data is all there. Everything is there. So that's good. Just when's our choice to get fired back up so we can get going and get this dealership back to 100% on that part too. So anyway, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the automobile world. Love to hear from you. Anything at all whatsoever from that part. So.
We talked about this a little bit earlier in the show, but can you believe it's freaking July already?
No.
I mean, it's crazy. The year
we're half over.
Know. It's just absolutely crazy. But our holiday hours is something.
Yeah, we need to talk about too. We're just going to be closed on the 4th. We'll be open Friday and Saturday normal hours. Just the actual 4th is kind of hard for us to, especially for what we've been through, to close down any more days than just that. So we will be open every day except Thursday, the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the time, the dealership will be open for normal hours and everything else about part 2. And we'll have to figure out how we're going to handle our radio show next Saturday too, right, Josh?
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out and let you know how our Saturday show is going to be. Also, tune in live Wednesday at 6. We will have more updates coming to you live from the same studio right here for about Salt City Racing and the big race coming up July 19th and 20th. It's a USAC Salt City Murphy Tractor and Equipment 100. Don't want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you've never seen those Silver Crown cars run, if you're any kind of a race fan whatsoever, you want to see these guys go.
So is Friday a qualifier for
kind of what's happening there is we're going to have, I don't have it all on top of my head. We're going to have a couple complete shows for, I believe, super stocks and A mods. And then the Silver Crown cars will practice 3 times.
Okay.
And then the URSS sprint cars will run heat races. We're going to do something a little different on those sprint cars. We're going to actually pay them for a heat race to have a little fun. We're going to pay $500 just to win a heat race.
Really?
So I hope that drives some excitement with the URSS 305 sprint cars. And then again, on Saturday, we will have a complete show for the sport mods. And then we will have the A features for the URSS sprint cars. And then we'll have the qualifiers of the USAC cars. And then, of course, we'll have the 100 lapper of those cars, which I think is going to be fun and exciting and everything else too. So don't miss the July 19th and 20th. It's going to be fun. Jump online at Salt City Racing LLC. Get your tickets bought. Saves you some time. Buy online. And that'll help you walk. You don't have to buy a ticket at the gate. You can just walk right up. They can scan your tickets and stuff and run right through. Also check out, we're just getting a apparel site set up. We're going to find out some interesting stuff that we're going to work on harder. That's going to make us that online store a little bit easier from that part. So like us on Facebook to keep update on all the updates and everything we're doing. And Mike Byrne, how about, yeah, I know, Mike, I hear you. How about some of the cash for them stock car heat winners too? I get it. I get it. We're trying something different and we're going to keep trying to do everything else like that too. And I think the $500 heat rate for for the URSS could put some excitement level into it from that part. And who knows how many of those URSS cars we'll get. We're hoping to get mid-20, maybe 30 of the URSS cars. We're hoping about 30 of I think Tommy's predicting about 30 of the of the Silver Crown cars, and I don't know if he's going to start with, or I know what he told me. We're going to start 24 cars, but if we say we get 26, 27, he says, you and I will have a visit. And what are you going to do? I'm going to say, I'm going to start all 27. That track's big enough and everything else to do that. So I think it'll be fun to do that. So we'll see how Friday night goes. We're trying to build some excitement level for both nights, so you don't want to miss it. Either night, jump on Salt City Racing LLC, buy your tickets, and it'll be a fun time Friday and Saturday, July 19th and 20th. Racing gates will open at 5, hot laps around 6:15. Racing starts at 7. But that'll be fun to keep and see how those sprint cars do and stuff too. And of course, the other support classes each night from that part too. So don't miss it. Be in the seats at Kansas State Fairground, but also remember, everybody, we have to prove to the fair board this is the right thing to race. And we got to fill those stands up and prove to them what's going on from that part. So make sure you're in the grandstands ready to go from that part. And the other thing I'll talk about too, Jim Petty has been out there and he's finally got every laps sold for the 100 lapper, and he's even doubled up on some of those. So if you still want to get in on some laps and sponsor a lap for the US USAC cars, get a hold of Jim Petty. He'd love to take your money, of course, but put you up there as a sponsor from that part too.
Sure.
So anyway, so check that out too. What else, Josh? Talked about our holiday hours, talked about that. So
you know, the rental side of this business, we haven't really, especially with the summer hours and or not summer hours, summer vacation and people going out.
You know, we really haven't
like
talked about that. Yeah, stands. We finally have been able to order fleet cars and getting some of those in and stuff too. So Stan has finally got his fleet really back up to speed there too. So if you need something bigger, an Expedition, 12 or 15 passenger van, or even need a truck, he's got some F-150s over there now finally too, that if you need something to rent to do something different than your car, don't want to put the miles in your car, whatever, he's finally got a good fleet of vehicles over there for him.
I think just inventory in general, we were kind of talking about that the other day, and as far as new inventory goes, like the lot's looking a heck of a lot fuller than what it is, or what it has been for sure, and just the number of transports that are dropping off and stuff.
Yeah, we're getting 2 or 3. We're back to normal.
Yeah,
pretty much on transports. 2 to 3 a day is rolling in here. We're a little over 400 now back on inventory. We used to have 6, 7, 8, 900 sometimes a new inventory set in here. So we're back in the 400s, which is good. The real problem we have, we're running really low on used cars. If you're looking at our webpage though, since this system has been down, it's not updated our system for about 12 days.
Yeah.
So just know that there's probably I'm trying to do what I can to manually pull off the used cars. The new cars are a little bit harder to get pulled off or whatever, but also we're not putting anything new back on.
Yeah.
So be careful the webpage. If you don't see what you're looking for, come out here and see us. Because there's a lot of trades that are not on that used car page for 12 days. It's not updated and putting any new inventory on there either. So make sure you come up and check that out too.
Are you seeing any on new products? Not necessarily specific models, but not any specific like trucks or Bronco or whatever, but like as far as options on that specific unit that's hard to get, or is pretty much everything?
It's kind of wide open from that part. Really not a problem. It's 6-8 weeks now, basically, when you put an order in from that part, and really nothing's been on hold for a while, so that's good. I will find out more Monday. We always have what we call a wholesale call before we turn on our orders for the next 90 days, basically.
Yeah.
So I'll find out Monday, 1:00, kind of what's happening there too. But here lately, it's been about everything you kind of really need. Only thing I can think of right now that's still on a hold, and I still can't believe it's on kind of a national kind of a situation, is a hitch for a 24 Ranger.
Really?
I can't order one on the factory. There's none to be had. They keep pushing the back orders back, and I don't know why someone can't build a hitch for a 24 Ranger. I don't know what
the deal is with that.
Yeah, no idea. No idea. So anyway, what else we got, Josh? Just kind of running out of time. We've kind of covered everything else from that part. A lot of exciting things coming up in the month of July. So everybody stay tuned to the shows. Make sure you're tuning in Saturday mornings at 9:00. Stay tuned in at 6:00 on the Salt City Racing page to keep up to date there with questions or things you might have. And BG Products. There's some exciting news coming from BG Products. I wish I could tell you. Stay tuned. It's pretty cool, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Some things that's coming down the pike with BG products, and so glad we have that partnership with those guys over there. So make sure you kind of stay tuned to the show and stuff. We'll have more announcements coming up very soon. We got the teaser yesterday. Me and Josh did. We met with some of the BG guys, and some exciting stuff coming down the pike. So please stay tuned. As you're going to be blown away what's going to happen there too. And also, hey, Big Corner Creative. I mean, those guys do a great job for us. Yes, that's our advertising company. So anything you need advertising wise, Google ads, web page design, vehicle wraps, window wraps, race car wraps, whatever it might be, as Jesse and that crew down there say, just Google it. And when you Google Big Corner Creative, you're going to see all the exciting stuff and everything they have to do. So anyway, hey, you know what else we forgot about? Just Nick Roberts just popped up. Godly, I can't believe we didn't talk about that either. Nick took off. Him and Justin took off, and Garrett went on race week. Took our yellow Mustang and traveled, I think, 6 different races, and I think 4 different states.
Yeah, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Missouri.
Nick loves red. That's why he's saying we look good in our red shirts. But Nick took our yellow Mustang, and that old car is just something else. It's never lost a burnout contest, and now it's won race week. Nick,
oh really?
It won the whole thing. So Nick, congratulations on that. We need to get that trophy back here. I don't know when you guys are getting back into town or whatever.
Trailers in the warehouse,
so they're back.
Yeah.
So anyway, that big trophy for race week, the yellow Mustang pulled it off, and I mean that car was running. He was in the 12.0 class, and it was just running those 12.0s, just
knocking them
clicking
down.
them off, and the car is so dang consistent stuff. I think he even had put some weight in it to slow it down. On one track he was at, was running 11.7s with it and stuff too. So Nick, hey, thanks for making us proud. Thanks for taking that car, and Justin and Garrett for running around these. I think it's 4 states, maybe 5 states. They went and raced at different times. They left here last Sunday. I guess they must have got back last night.
Yeah.
From that part. But congratulations, Nick, making that old yellow car. Pretty proud. I'm sure there was a lot of fun and exciting with that deal too. We got some fun and exciting with that too when the first of the week. So Nick, congratulations to the crew, Mel Hamilton Ford Racing, bringing home the big trophy from that part. So hey, everybody, have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the great comments, everything else out there. Love hearing from you and everything else like that. Stay tuned. 6 o'clock next Wednesday, we'll have some more updates on Salt City Racing. And, of course, next Saturday, it's going to be a little interesting next Saturday.
Yeah.
Right, Josh? We'll figure out what we're going to be doing next Saturday here at Live at Under the Hood at 9 o'clock next Saturday. Hey, everybody, have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you very soon.